During the COVID lockdown, Bailiwick has been grasping the opportunity to play parlour games, as Bailiwick did when Bailiwick was merely a youngster. Back in those days, before we had access to Xboxes, PlayStations and the like, one of the common items that would be used was the humble deck of playing cards. And the first thing one always saw was the Ace of Spades, the most ornate card in the deck. But why should this be? Why is that particular card singled out for special honour, being more heavily decorated than even the court cards? What makes the Ace of Spades so important? Traditionally, the aces are the top cards in any suit, though this varies from game to game. Additionally, spades are normally seen as the boss trump suit, so the top trump is a natural choice if you want to single out any particular card. But why bother doing that anyway? To find that out, we need to go back to the 17th century, to the 28th of June 1694 to be exact. As usual, England was at war with France. The 9 Years' War, as it became known, was actually between Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, and a coalition of the Holy Roman Empire led by Austria, the Dutch Republic, Spain, England, and Savoy, an area of the Western Alps which is now a part of modern France. And the thing about wars is that they are expensive. The English monarchs, William and Mary, needed to raise cash. So they decided to utilise a mechanism that had first been used during the reign of Charles II, and imposed a new tax on vellum, parchment and paper to help pay for the war against France. This stamp duty was an incredible success in raising revenue. In the 1702-3 financial year, the war had been over for 5 years but there would be other wars that needed funding. During that time, almost 4 million stamps of this nature were issued, and the stamps were literally embossed into a document using a physical stamp, a revenue stamp. Naturally, the success of the idea meant that it was extended to cover other items, notably in 1711 playing cards. At first, the stamp was a hand stamp on the playing card, but from 1765, hand stamping was replaced by the official printing of the Ace of Spades by the Stamp Office, which incorporated the royal coat of arms to show that the duty had been paid. In 1868, this was replaced by the use of duty wrappers to hold the entire deck of cards once the duty of threepence had been paid by the manufacturer. This meant that the manufacturers could print whatever they wished on the card, but most decided to keep an ornate design, though in place of recognition of stamp duty, the manufacturer normally printed their own information. Though stamp duty still exists, its use for playing cards ended in 1960. We are, each one of us, singled out by God. We receive our stamp at our baptism when we are marked with the sign of the cross in holy oil. We don't have to pay any duty on that stamp because our duty was paid 2,000 years ago on a cross at Calvary.